Mic'd up.
Well, hello, everybody. We're back. Regular scheduled programming, regular bat time, regular bat channel. 4 o'clock Western or Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern, Yankees Coast to Coast. I'm Michael Miller. The man in the black shirt is not Johnny Cash. It is Adam Schneider, my partner in crime for today's episode. How you doing, Adam?
How are you, partner? I kind of like that. I've always wanted to be Johnny Cash. He's got the best voice. Come on.
Well, you'd have to murder somebody first, wouldn't you? Because isn't that what he went to jail for?
I don't think he did. Did he go to jail for murder?
Yes, he
No,
was.
he wrote
I don't
great
know. We can
songs
look it
about
up.
that.
Somebody listening in, one of our millions of listeners, could chime in and say, "Why did John?" I think it was manslaughter.
No. He talked about it. He sang about it. He sang about killing his father once because he called him Sue. Terrible. What a thing to do. What kind of thing? Who names their kid Sue? You know, and then gets pissed off when you want to beat the crap out of him.
He never. All right. So according to, let's see. According to our friends at Wikipedia, he never ever served a prison sentence, although he did spend the night in jail several times for misdemeanors.
I think he shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. That's what I think.
Are you just singing Johnny Cash?
I shot a man in Reno.
He did record an album in Folsom Prison.
Come on, did you hear me do that? I just did the best Johnny Cash imitation. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Come on, can you do that? I bet you don't have that.
We just lost all of our listeners.
You brought him up, man. You brought him up.
I did. Well, I called you Johnny Cash because you were in a black outfit.
I understand, partner.
So his arrest record has been for trespassing on private property to pick flowers, but he was drunk at the time. Smuggling prescription drugs in his guitar case from Mexico, public drunkenness, reckless driving, and, of course, drug possession.
You have to see it. It's a great movie. Great Johnny Cash movie. By the way, my son is an absolute Johnny Cash. He's got a picture of Johnny on his wall in his room. Flipping the bread. I didn't say it. I can do it. I didn't say it. I won't be upsetting any of our sponsors.
You don't have an index finger, so you couldn't put that one up. Anyhow, today's show is the first in a series of shows where we will probably have additional guests to help us, but we're just going to start off by ourselves. We're going to talk about the Yankees hot stove and the plans that they have, what we think they should do, and what's happened so far. Today, we're just going to go through the 40-man roster and say, should he stay or should he go? We're going to go through. Now I'll bring up the Clash. Are you happy? But what we do want to acknowledge before anything happens is everybody knows the Yankees can do nothing significant until Juan Soto issue is resolved. And when we say resolved, we mean either he signed with the Yankees, he signed with another team, or the Yankees went to Scott Boras and to Soto and said, listen, we can't wait till February. We need to build our team, and we got to spend. We have money to spend, and we told you what we're going to give you. If you don't want our offer, that's great. We appreciate it. You were a great Yankee for the year you were here, but the Yankees need to walk away at a certain point in time. But nothing can really get done of significance with regard to position players, especially, or significant money until the Juan Soto situation is concluded. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree, and it's very troubling actually to me because this has been done before. He does this a lot.
Who's he? Boras?
Boras does this all the time with his clients, and he messes up a lot of the natural ecosystem of the offseason. It's with the delay, the wait until the end. And in this case, the Yankees really do have a deadline. I mean, they really have to put something out there because they do have some needs, and they can't sit there and wait until everybody's off the books. So I think the Yankees are going to give a very clear. I heard something about Thanksgiving. That's not.
No, it's got to be before the winter meetings. The Yankees need to.
Yeah, and that's what, December 10th or something.
Yeah, so yeah, it has to be by then because that's when the real action starts. And I honestly believe as well, not only did Boras screw his clients last year, JD Martinez, Montgomery, Blake Snell, they all didn't get the deals that they wanted.
And none of them had good seasons. Nobody did well.
No,
Snell pitched a no-hitter.
but
but
he
he
didn't have
took
a
a
good season.
while to get going.
Yeah,
It took a while. And
exactly. So,
Martinez was useless for the first, month of the season with the
well,
Mets.
wasn't there.
So,
Yeah, he
mhm.
wasn't signed. So
But
yeah,
when he
so
did come back, he was very slow. So I think that this stuff hurts his players. And I wonder who didn't Montgomery fire him?
yes,
I think
Montgomery.
Montgomery fired him.
Yeah, and
You
the
know,
other thing with regard to Soto, the longer he waits, the longer the other players behind him pretty much have to wait. Does Pete Alonso have to wait as a first baseman DH type? Probably not. But the Bregmans and the high end pitchers and all these other high end players do have to sit back and wait and see what happens with regard to Soto. Even a guy like what's his face on Arizona, Walker, first baseman.
yeah, yeah,
He has to sit back and wait because he knows the Yankees will be in play for him if they don't get Soto. And you don't want to start negotiating with a mid-market team when you can bring the Yankees to the table.
no,
Aside from, and also, what was funny to me is the Dodgers coming out and saying Mookie is going back to the infield next year. That cracks me up, but that makes everybody think they're going to be in play for Soto. But that's for another day.
oh,
Let's start our conversation with the players where the Yankees had team options. All
mhm.
right. The first one, obviously, Cole had the option and he opted out, and then the Yankees exercised it. Well, two questions. One is, do you think the
Yes and
Yankees?
no.
Well,
They exercised it, but then he broke. I thought it was interesting, and it says a lot about Cole or about this market and about starting pitching in general. That he, as good as he is, that he actually didn't. That he pulled back the option. You
no, he
know, I
didn't. No, he didn't.
no.
Yankees had, if he opted out, the Yankees
Mhm.
had an option to just add another year at 36 million, and that's what the Yankees did. So
I
now
thought the
he
Yankees. I thought the Yankees
no,
decided not to do that.
no,
You
the
know,
Yankees
when did I
gave him the
misread that?
36 million. The
Did
Yankees
they
gave
give him
him
the extra year?
yeah, they gave him the extra year. They had no choice. Otherwise,
Did
he's a
I?
free
I mean,
agent.
I read that they didn't. You know,
No,
are
they
we
did.
sure? All
Yeah.
right.
And then the other
That's
half of this is that the
wow. Wow.
Yankees called his bluff.
Hmm.
Todd's chiming in and saying the Yankees is still on a 4-year deal, but they agreed to continue negotiating a long-term thing.
Yeah. So he did. So they didn't do what they were going. What they didn't say. They didn't automatically give him the year, which I think is very telling. You know, because it just shows the tremendous devaluation of starting pitching in the game right now. That people are finally saying we've spent too much on these guys. They all fall apart. They break immediately a year, 2 years into the contracts, and they're not worth it. That they'd much rather look at the success of the Dodgers and even the Cleveland Guardians without really adequate starting pitching. They went on with strong bullpens and enough starting to get by. So I think that there's a wave in this market that's coming. I think I'm going to say it here, and maybe you'll disagree. 5 years, the starting pitching has been devalued to a point where we don't have, $15 million starters anymore. We don't have 50 million now, but we won't have them. I don't think they're going to evolve the way position players have in terms of the salary growth, because I think people are finally saying we can't afford it, and they break too damn easily. So what do
And
you
they
think?
don't pitch, 250 innings.
They don't. So I think they're going to start thinking. I watch the next CBA roster expands to 30 players, bullpens open up, more starters doing 3 or 4 innings, more bullpen games, though more orderly than they are right now. Instead of 1 inning, there'll be a 3 inning, 3 inning, 3 inning, and then closing. You know, so that probably I see that happening because I think that they're devaluing starting now for all the reasons that
They
we're
are
seeing.
absolutely devaluing starting pitching. I mean, they've
And
done
the
that.
fact that he did that is nothing's more telling than last year's Cy Young Award winner doesn't get what he wants immediately. Does
Well,
they
here's
called
the
his bluff?
Snell didn't get what he wanted last year either.
There it is. I mean, it's saying a lot. But anyway, enough. That's just my
And I
stand
think
on it.
length of contract is going to be an issue as well. So yeah,
Yep.
so I stand corrected. I screwed that up. The Yankees did call his bluff. So I also think there may be more to the story about Cole's elbow, and that's another reason that he called. He
Yeah.
didn't want to go through another medical exam with somebody else.
No question. But I was surprised how fast they gave it. I thought they would push it a little bit.
Well, they
You
pushed
know.
it to Monday. They gave them an extra day from Sunday to Monday, and then they said they'd agree to talk about an extension. But the Yankees didn't give in on anything. I'm catching up on my misinformation that I provided, and
Mhm.
the other half of it is maybe he also knows what happened last year to the Montgomerys and the Snells of the world.
Mhm.
Um,
It's okay, Mike. Even great men have to pee, so it's
all
okay.
right, next up on our list is Anthony Rizzo. The Yankees chose to pay him $6 million in a buyout rather than to exercise the 17 million. So I think that was the right thing to do, and I gather you do as well.
Sorry, sorry.
And he'll be sitting out there if for some reason they do need to bring him back. They can bring him back cheaper,
Yeah,
and go from
yeah.
there.
I like him. I like him, but he is on the downside of a
Oh
great
yeah,
career.
and as I said to you frequently, I would love if the Yankees really wanted to bring him back because of everything else he brings, except for what's on the field. I wouldn't mind the Yankees bringing him back to be the manager and get him a very experienced bench coach, but that ain't going
Well,
to happen either.
he's definitely going to be a coach. I'd say within 3 years he'll be coaching
Yeah, he'll
somewhere.
be a
He'll be
manager.
he'll
Well,
be
he
a
won't be
manager
at the Cubs.
later. I don't know
He
if
won't be at the Cubs because they're not going to get rid of. They're not going to get rid of their manager that they paid $7 million to for the length of
I
his
don't think
contract.
he's going to manage right away. He won't go right into that. He'll go.
Why?
He'll
Ross,
coach first.
Ross, Ross did.
You know,
Vote
I
pretty
would
much
see it.
did.
I could see
Vote.
him do something else. He'll be like
Well,
Mattingly. He'll be a bench coach for a while and then he'll do it. I don't know.
yeah.
It's just it seems smarter to do it that way, less stress. Let these
Well,
guys build their way into it. You know,
we'll see what happens.
but
And then
we'll
you
see.
got Lou Trevino. Lou Trevino. They didn't exercise, so bye bye.
Yeah, bye. I mean,
And
how
he
many?
won't
What did
provide
they
it.
get out of him? About 30 innings.
Do
I
you?
mean,
It wasn't even that, was it? Really?
terrible, terrible. What
I
a
mean, the
loss.
Montas and him came together, didn't they?
Wow. Yeah. What a terrible deal. One of the not that nobody, not that they gave anything up. You know, those guys never really turned into much.
Right.
But
They
the
didn't.
Yankees seem to have a skill at giving up high value players and getting nothing back, but giving nothing up either. It seems like both sides of the deal spent all
Yeah,
too often.
I mean, Sears is a back end of the bullpen type of guy, a back end of the rotation type of guy
Yeah.
that they that are out there. But you know, that's about it. So I was looking up Trevino's stats, and of course, it sent me to Jose Trevino's stats, not Lou Trevino's stats, because Jose pitched a couple of times. So, and then Luke Weaver, obviously, that was a no-brainer to pick up that option. $2.5 million,
That's what was that, a $2 million option?
2.5.
Jesus, what a deal.
Well, you got
What
to
a
remember the guy was nothing, right?
yeah.
He was nothing. So, 2.5 is a lot for a guy like that. There's another guy we'll get to who's been much better, a couple of guys that are much better on the Yankees than they were elsewhere. So, as far as everything they did on the options, I think you and I are both in agreement. And speaking on behalf of Kramer, I think he's on our agreement with us too. Second up was the free agents and whether or not they gave them qualifying offers. Well, the Yankees only gave out one qualifying offer, and that was to Soto, and it's for $21.2 million, I think the number is. So we'll just say 21 between friends. What's $200,000? Obviously, that was the right thing to do, right? I mean, that way you can at least get
Yes.
some compensation
They're
for
gonna
it.
get a top. So what do you get? You get a number one draft choice?
No, it
What do you get?
depends. It depends
What is the
because the
rules now?
Yankees, there's a whole formula with regards to how far the Yankees are above the tax threshold and which threshold they're above and how often they've been above it. So it's really complicated, and I don't really want to talk about it, nor can I really talk about it in an educated fashion, nor can I talk about Cole's option. But that's beside the point.
But
Um,
there is the bottom line is they get
they
something.
should get.
They get
They probably will
compensation.
get. They probably will get something. And then, of course, Glaber was the next man on the list, and they decided not to. And, I said that in the middle of the season, I would have not given him the qualifying offer. And I
I
think the
would.
reason not to give him the qualifying offer is a little bit risky because they are going to need something if Soto doesn't come back. But he is a low baseball IQ player. He doesn't have a good body type. He's got to be the slowest running second baseman in baseball. And if they really want to start to emphasize fundamentals, which they're sort of making sounds about, he's not the guy to have on the team.
No, he's dumb as a bucket of beaks. That's
No, he's not. You can't say that. You can say he's got
baseball
a low
wise.
baseball IQ. Okay, baseball wise. Okay.
Dumb as a bucket of beaks. And I'm telling you, it's just the guy kills me. I just can't stand it. To me, it's a wonderful day. That Labor Day is gone, is over. Time for him to become somebody else's problem in Seattle, where he'll go on and become wonderful in obscurity. But the thing about him is rising to the occasion. Loved his hitting in the playoffs. Very pleased that he finally got himself together. Probably because he knew the contract was coming. He basically somehow probably the Yankees mental specialist sat down with him and said, "Dude, you you're costing yourself millions. Find it." And he
Do you
found it.
think he's going to get 20 million a year from somebody, even if it's just
No,
free?
that's what I mean. I would have done it because I was thinking that they should have given it just because I would like to get the draft choice. His ego wouldn't allow him to take it. He'll take a 2-year deal for 40 million or
No,
because
not something. Would he take
he'll
a 3 year? Would he take a 3 year, $48 million deal instead of 1 year, 21?
you know yeah, probably. So I would have. So for me, it was worth doing it because I feel the Yankees might have gotten a little benefit out of that. But no, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's no loss. I'm just happy he's not coming back. I'm very pleased.
So the
Like
other
them.
guys, obviously, the other guys that were free agents, nobody would come close to $21 million worth of value, which is interesting that the qualifying offer is the same for every player, regardless. You got Tim Hill, Clay Holmes, Tommy Canley, Jonathan Loizaga, and Alex Verdugo. Clearly, you don't want to offer any of those guys $21
No,
million because they're going to jump at it even for one season.
no, and you're right. Clay Holmes would do it just to resuscitate what he feels was a good year that only went
Never
south
getting. What are
momentarily.
you kidding? Every one of those guys would take $21 million. They're not going to make that in
Yeah,
2 year deals.
yeah, no way. And
I mean,
and
Loizaga didn't pitch,
so that's
and if all those guys you
Loizaga, by the way, will come back on a contract. He'll
to the
come back.
Yankees.
Of all those guys, he'll come back.
What about?
Um,
I think the Yankees are going to want to bring Hill back too.
Me too, me too. And that would be a bargain. I mean, I think that would be a deal.
He'll be in this. I
They could
think he'll
get
be in the 2.5 million range. Just like he'll be in the 2.5 million range. I think
Yeah,
if I
it's
had to
interesting that
guess.
they do that. That the number is so high for people who'd never contributed close. I mean, it makes it so easy to make decisions. They would have some graduated rate based on whether he's a reliever or whether he's a starter.
Yeah, but they don't.
But they don't.
So
So it makes the decision very easy.
yeah, so that's it. And then Canley. I don't want them to bring back Canley, but they could. I don't necessarily think they should. I think he's waiting to break down again. And I certainly wouldn't bring any of these guys back on a multi-year deal, except for maybe Hill on a 2 year deal.
Mm.
Just so you know, Hill, was this right? Hill made basically a minimum of $740,000, major league minimum last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Yankees could offer him, in the neighborhood of double that for sure, and it would be fine.
And is he arbitration? He's
No, he's
pre-arbitration?
free. He's unrestricted free agent.
All right. So okay, love
So
it.
I mean,
I
Verdugo.
would
I don't
bring
want
him
to see
back.
Verdugo. I
No,
don't want to. I've heard people on the radio say Verdugo should be back. I'm like, those people haven't watched
no,
baseball. All right,
no.
and when we get to the outfield position, I'll tell you even more why he shouldn't be back.
The
So we've
only
taken
one
care
on
of.
that list that I would like to see come back would be at this point would be Loizaga and maybe Tim
Right,
Hill.
but he'd be
I
minimum.
I like Loizaga because I still think there's something in there. I think there's something in that tank, and it's just had a lot of bad luck and with these injuries. But also, you never know, is he finally broken? But I think that there's something about that guy. It's untapped. Also, it's upsetting. It's such an untapped
But he
talent.
also he also doesn't have the mental. He doesn't seem to have the mental acuity to be a closer.
It's possible too.
So
You know.
we have a call in from my brother Toad about these issues about these players.
Here's what I would do with the current roster as of the end of the World Series. I would let Rizzo, Verdugo, Holmes, and Torres go, and that should save you about $60 million. I would move Jazz to second base. I would sign a third baseman, and then I would have DJ, Ben Rice, and Cabrera platoon at first base unless you could find a way to get rid of DJ. And then try and sign Soto, but be responsible about it. Don't give him $700 million.
All
No,
right,
that's
we'll
such a
get to that.
classic Miller. He just jumped. What do I
Well,
always call him?
he doesn't know how to read. He's a math teacher.
This is not. What did I call him when he gets mad? And I call him this. I call him a putz, or what did I say about him
Oh
once?
no, it's
Got
whatever you
very
call.
upset at me. But no, I just this is clearly about the current roster, and what
Well,
I,
he didn't name who they should sign, so you got to give him credit there.
yeah, he didn't
Right?
go. He didn't decide
He didn't
to
say sign this
give
guy.
us
So,
the resume, our menu for the next show. But
yeah,
that's,
see, he's a transitional guy
I love
in
you,
many
Todd.
ways. You take that
I'm
forward.
kidding.
So, all right. So the next group are people who are arbitration eligible. So the Yankees go to
Well, why don't we talk
arbitration.
about what he said? We didn't. I made fun of him. I didn't.
He didn't say anything we didn't say already. Right? He's letting everybody go. We'll get to DJ. We'll get to Cabrera. We'll get to Rice. We'll get to those guys.
All
But
right.
for the Verdugos and the Rizzos and the Glabers of the world, he's already said what we said. But we'll get our opinions on those guys in a little bit. The next group is the arbitration eligible players that the Yankees could either offer arbitration or non-tender them. So this is the group, and then you could tell me who you want to talk about. Ready? John Birdie, Tim Meza, Trent Grisham, JT Brubaker. Let's go with that group first.
I don't remember Brubaker. I mean, he was hurt, right? Was he?
Well,
Did he come in?
Brubaker is a 30-year-old guy. There is no reason for him to be on the 40-man roster. Isn't he the 30-year-old guy?
I'm looking him up right now.
What I put it. Look at the email I sent you. I don't have it open.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It just says he's saying he's an arbitration eligible 2.275 million guy. But I'm
Yeah, you
interested
don't
in
want him on
seeing.
the team. You don't want
I
him
want
on
to
the
see
team.
what he's done, if there's any value to him. All right, so
Oh no,
stats.
the other guy is JC Escara. There's no
All right.
reason for Brubaker to be on the team. He was hurt all season. He's not.
All right, so he's only picked. It's amazing. He's only been around a couple of years. So 20 came up 4 point. I don't see where they like this guy. What I mean, 22, 4.69. His best year was 4.69 ERA and 3-12 with the Pirates.
Right. This is the guy they picked up. Another guy they picked up from the Pirates.
Do they always think they can fix somebody with the from the Pirates, don't they? They just love the Pirates.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to give this guy $2.275 million.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, you just can't do it. And he hasn't pitched in a while. He was in the minor leagues.
None of these guys are
he
we
pitched
talking
in the
about
minor leagues this year, and he only pitched 8 games, and there were 5 of them with starts. I mean, he had in 16 innings, he had good stats, but that's nothing. And 23, he didn't pitch. So I'm not going to give that guy 2.275, which is his estimated salary. I mean, I guess they could if they think he's a back of the bullpen, we need innings guy, but it's a lot of money.
No.
So what about Birdie?
Yeah, Birdie, I think it's a lot of money. I think they can get this guy. First of all, I think the injuries bother me a lot this year. Like, he's got one thing he's
Hurt
doing
last year too.
What?
He was hurt last year too.
Yeah. So to me, this is a guy who's makes his money on his legs and he doesn't, and he keeps hurting his legs. Not worth the 3.5 million. Seems that they can replace this clown.
So these numbers that we're talking about that I fed you, the 3.5 for him and the 2.275, and the other numbers that we're talking about, they all came from Sport Track, which is tracking salaries for all sorts of sports. So that's what
this is
they're
the estimated. This is estimated value next year.
Yes, it is.
Or is this is not what they made this year?
No, this is estimated that we get in arbitration.
All right. So
you're a little frozen. You're a little frozen right now.
Am I fixed?
I don't know. Did you have that kind of surgery? You're still, yeah. Well, now you're gone, and now you're back. You're back. You're good.
Okay. All right.
Tim Meza. Now, Tim Meza is an interesting one to me. They think he can make 2.9 in arbitration. He wasn't awful. He had his moments where he wasn't bad. And, if they're not going to bring back Hill, they have no choice but to bring back Meza just to have a lefty. I mean, I wouldn't mind bringing back Meza. 2.9 seems a little bit high for a guy who's going to pitch, 50 innings in a season.
Well, he pitched 18 for them this year. His
ERA,
his whip was about 1.17.
That's not bad, and he pitched well in the playoffs.
He did fine in limited activity. So he was altogether, he pitched 15 innings, 15 games this year.
So I mean, I guess they could. 2.9 is a little bit high if the Yankees are really trying to cut corners on money.
This is where they're going to cut it. They're going to cut money here, and this is the problem. How long are they going to wait? He's going to cut a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys don't have a long.
Well,
how long
they have to offer arbitration, pretty much by the winter meetings, and then the arbitration hearings all happen in February, right before spring training. And then the last but not least guy on the list is Grisham. I would non-tender him.
I would non-tender him because he's a luxury they don't need, and he's a potential backlog. What they're going to do, what I think they're going to do is he's the kind of guy that they could easily use instead of Dominguez. I want Dominguez to get a real shot,
Well,
and I don't want this to be one of those.
I mean, Dominguez, and then you've also got Pereira, and you've also
Yeah.
got, Cabrera. You've got a bunch of guys that could be outfielders for them. Now, granted, again, Soto comes into play with all of this because the Yankees are going to need an outfielder, whether it's Dominguez, Soto, and Judge, or it's Dominguez, Judge, and blank.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are going on over there. So, all right. So now we'll get to the pitching staff and we get some other pitchers that are and a catcher that are arbitration eligible players. You ready? Nestor.
Okay.
Nestor this is his last year of arbitration. He'll be a free agent in 26. They estimate him making 8.3. Yes? No? Maybe?
I'm going to say a very painful no.
See,
it's a lot of money, and I just don't. I think the guy has seen his best days. I think he is.
I agree with that, but I think it's a yes, and then trade him.
Does he have any value on the market?
I don't know if he does or he doesn't. How's that for an answer? I would look as him being somebody, if he's effective early in the season, I would trade him for something, depending on what you need, depending on your injuries. Next up is Clark Schmidt. He is arbitration eligible for this year and 26 and 27. So he's a first-time arbitration eligible. 5.1.
Absolutely. Love him.
Yeah. I do too.
No question.
He's a number 4 starter on the team, or number, and
I think he has a ceiling. I think he has a higher ceiling. I don't think he's reached it yet. I think he'll get better.
And he's effective. He was very effective before he got hurt this year. All right, next up is a tough one. You ready? Mark Leiter Jr. He's arbitration eligible in 26 and 20 and this year, and becomes a free agent after 26. They're estimating him at $2.4 million. I know what the Yankees are going to do, and I can see why they're going to offer him arbitration.
Yeah, because the money is right. The money is light, and they can count on him. He did well. Man, he came up. He pulled it together when the pressure was on.
He came back.
Was he perfect? No.
He came back and got hurt. I mean, he definitely put himself out there with the idea of, I may get hurt. I'm going to go out there just like Nestor did.
Yeah.
All right. Next, so we're both in agreement. They say only 1.5 million, and I think that's great because Hamilton was very effective. Do I think he's a long-term? Do I think he's a long-term bullpen piece? No, I think he's one of the fungible bullpen guys. And at 1.5 million, if he stinks, it's a 1-year deal, or you get him out of here and release him.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is another one that you have to give him the money, I think, but you don't know what you're going to get. Scott Efros. He's eligible for arbitration for the way his salary is set up and his stuff is. He's all the way through 28. He's like many years of arbitration for this guy. He only made $900,000 last year, so made league minimum, so they're expecting him to only go up to $900,000, and he didn't pitch.
Yeah, I think that there's nothing to lose there. And under $1 million pitcher who might have some upside, there's no question, offer him the arbitration to it.
I agree. All right, so now we get to 2 more position players who we'll go Jazz first. Jazz is arbitration eligible this year and next year, and then free in 27. They expect him to make 6.77 in arbitration, Sports Track. Obviously, you're offering him arbitration. You're not letting him go.
Yeah, no question.
The question is where is he going to play? And that depends on what they decide to do.
And I would guess
he'll be their second base. I think he should be the second baseman. And then the last but not least, and this is a tougher one, Jose Trevino. Not just the pitcher, but the catcher.
Personally, I think it's a lot of money.
It's his last year of arbitration.
Yeah, I would dump him. Don't think it's worth it. Don't like backup catchers who can't throw.
So let me ask you a question. This is getting ahead of ourselves, so you can call me a putz.
You're up.
Travis Darnell got non-tendered from Atlanta.
How much is that going to cost?
I don't know, but that was a surprise to me. So I can't see any reason why they would.
Is there any way to see what his value would be on the market now, just based on service time?
I can try and find him on the thing. I got to spell
All
his
right,
name.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Trevino.
Go ahead.
Do not think that this is somebody the Yankees should sign again. There were too many instances this year where you felt that he was going to contribute to a loss rather than lead to a win. I think his value as a great framer has been diminished significantly by the fact that he can't throw anybody. He couldn't throw out, Kramer, running to second base. He's not going to be able to throw out a major leaguer. Doesn't make it any. There's no value there. Don't think his bat is worth it. Love his attitude. Nice guy. So long.
So Darnell made $8 million last year.
Yeah, and so their limits. What happens when you have that much service time? Can they give you a garbage salary? I mean,
Well,
are
they
there
didn't
limits?
exercise. They didn't exercise, so they pretty much let him go. And then I guess you could still sign these guys.
I guess I could take these guys. I mean, he seemed. I don't know enough about him, so I don't know. But I think that this is a thing where they might want to bring up. They've got some young cashers. Bring them up. Let's bring up a young casher. Maybe find lightning in a bottle and somebody who can actually play, who would even replace Wells. Because as much as I like Wells, I think Wells has a series of holes.
I think Wells is fixable.
I hope so. I hope so for their sake. But I think they also have enough cashing in the minor leagues that they could use one. They don't need to have this. I think Wells has gotten everybody's confidence. There's no instance anymore about one of the veteran pitchers not wanting to throw to him. By all means, bring him up. Let him be your starter. No questions, no platoons, and then bring up one of the young guys to come on and to be the right side of that. Bring up a right-handed batter, see what he can do. Somebody, a right-handed bat down in the minors, one of the younger guys, see what happens.
Well, they didn't exercise the option on Darnell, but they exercised it on Ozuna, the Braves. So
that's the point. That's a way to save $3 million right there. I mean, you can go down and get a minimum guy, a casher down in the minors, and bring him up.
Well, they have as we go through this, we'll get to the catchers. They have a couple of catchers that are on the 40-man roster, and then of course they have a couple of catchers. They have a couple of low-level minor league catchers that are highly
they're very strong in the cashing. It's amazing. For years they didn't have anybody.
Yeah,
terrible cashers coming up, and then now they're just flush with them. I don't know what they're doing, but they're drafting really well.
Well, maybe they're drafting really well. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean they don't turn into anything. We'll see what
So
they
if you
turn
look
into.
at the Yankees' top prospects, they have some catchers on the list, but they're pretty young. You got Egdalin Perez, who was at rookie ball. He's only 18. He's their 15th best prospect, so he's not ready. And you've got Engith Arena, who's 20 years old. So, I mean, those are their two top. And then there's a guy named Rafael Flores. He's a little bit older. He may be able to make the team next year. He played Double-A. His stats this past season at Double-A were not bad at all. He had 279, but he had a high on base, 379, and a 495 slugging. And he is a right-handed hitter. So, do you give that guy a chance? You also have Navarez, but, what will Navarez be? Who knows? But he is right-handed as well. So, all right. So the three guys, we'll get with the rest of the team. We're going to talk about them in light of the fact that they're under Yankee control. There's not really a contract issue with any of them. So it's really a keep, trade, release question. Ready? Austin Wells, they got to keep. Easy. Right? Ben Rice. What do you want? What do you expect? What do you expect them to do with Ben Rice for next year?
I think Ben Rice should be looked at as a catcher again. But the thing is, they're gonna need first baseman. So maybe they need to give him listen. He did a good job at first base.
He was fine.
This is something, and I'm going to backtrack and for a topic for the future. But there's a lot of play in the media right now about the Yankees just have gone crazy with playing guys out of position. They have created a disaster, a mess on their major league roster with guys moving around and playing where they don't belong. And it might have cost them the World Series because some people believe that a real third baseman would have caught that ball rather than what's his name.
He's innocent on that one.
I think I would have caught that ball at third base.
Well, you would have
really good
put it in your belly button, so that's okay.
Yeah, I think that he may. I do. I don't blame that one on. Everyone's blaming Volpe. I blame it there. I think the play was a
Oh no,
casualty.
I blame it on Volpe. I think Volpe made a smart decision and bad execution.
Yeah, but I
Anyhow,
think it
Ben
was
Rice,
playable.
he could be in the first base mix. He may be, depending on how he hits or not. He's a
I like
quadruple.
his bat. I like his.
He could
He's
be a
got
quadruple A
Mattingly-esque
guy.
opposite field swing. What?
He could be a quadruple A type of guy. I mean,
Maybe we'll see. But I think he looked ahead moments. They hit 3 home runs in a game. Pretty cool.
yeah.
I did like the opposite field stroke, which made me think he has moments where he looks like Mattingly, and I loved it. I'd like him to work more on that in the minor leagues, going the other way. He started to get pull happy after the home runs, and that was the end. I mean, this always happens to these
So
guys.
Todd wants to chime in before we get into this with
Who?
regard to what Yankee prospects.
Toad again?
Yeah, Toad again.
Don't forget,
But
the Yankees always think their prospects are better than they actually are, and they don't want to trade any of them. So who knows how good any of those catchers are going to be.
That's the whole point. We
Of
agree.
course. Great point. I mean, that's always the problem. And the Yankees do always inflate. And that's
Yeah. So,
it's like bringing in left-handed power hitters. There's certain things
so,
the Yankees always do, and that's one of them.
so I can't speak to his defense, but offensively at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre, Narvaez, who's our next guy on our list,
Yeah.
he had 400 at bats at AAA, and he had a 254 average, 370 on base, and a 412 slugging for a 782 OPS, which was a 138% of average for AAA players. So from that perspective, he showed some offensive promise. So I do think he's the one that's going to end up being the backup catcher because he's a lot less expensive than Trevino, and he's a right-handed hitter. So he could platoon with Wells when Wells needs to sit against a tough lefty when they want to sit him. Plus day game after night game type stuff because catchers don't do that anymore. So I think Narvaez is on the roster, and I think Trevino is going to be non-tendered or not offered arbitration.
Yeah.
So now we get to some infielders. And what's really interesting is your favorite Yankee minor leaguer, who is running rampant in the Arizona Fall League, is not on the Yankees 40-man roster. So we're not.
But I think that's going to change when when the Rule 5 draft comes along. So watch him get saved.
Why he hasn't been in the league? It hasn't been in the minors for
whatever.
Years.
So there's always something they need to do.
Yeah.
They need to get their roster, their 40-man set.
Right. So obviously the guys they're going to keep Volpe. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, right? So we're not talking about Volpe. What do you think they're going to do with Yorbert Vivas, the guy they got from the Dodgers?
I love this guy, and he didn't have a great year. I mean, but he was hurt a lot of the way. He only hit 225, but I really like this guy. I saw him play during spring, but he got hurt. What happened to him? Do you know? He did something. He blew something out. Let's just see what his background. How old is he? He's 24. Still got a little bit. He's got a little age on him.
He's young,
but that's okay. I would like to see that. I'd like to see a guy like that. Given an opportunity. It's lefty bat. Oh no, he's a switch hitter. How nice a switch. How nice.
I mean, the Yankees got Dodgers needed to dump rosters.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's his best year? I'm looking here. He did. So last year he had 269. So the 271 minor league. Career. Doesn't have any power to speak. A little bit. Nine home runs. But he only played in 101 games. He had 9 home runs in 101 games. What I like his on base percentage is 350. So he's not your usual clown these days who comes up and doesn't know how to take a walk. So maybe that's something there. He's got a lifetime 377 in the minor leagues. So
strikes out less than 20% of the time. That's always a good thing.
There it is. So
maybe he's got a shot to be on the team next year.
Invite him, give him a nice
He has
seat.
been in the minors.
He might be.
He's on the 40-man roster, so they don't have to worry about him from the Rule 5 draft perspective.
And they're going to need a second baseman. Bottom line.
Well, that leads us to our next character.
Yeah.
Oswald Peraza.
All right. This guy seems to be the classic Yankee devaluing of their minor league capital. They just don't seem, for whatever reason, they seem to kill these guys. with the up and down, injuries take over. It gets in their head they're not going to make it. There's a guy in front of them. Volpe isn't going anywhere for 1,000 years. It seems like it's in his head now, and he had an injury plagued season. You know, how
I
did he
mean,
end up?
talking about a guy who in 2022, when he came up in August and September, he hit 306. He had a high over 400 on base, over 400 slugging. And then 23, he lost the job to Volpe, went down to the minors, didn't do very much, was very disappointing in the minors in 23. Um, you know, well, he was 270, so he wasn't that disappointing. Then he spent a lot of this past year, he was hurt.
Yeah, he
Um,
was hurt like the entire. What happened to? What was wrong with him? Did he
I
have
don't
that
know.
thoracic outlet thing?
Well,
What was it? Something.
I don't know.
It
He
was
ended
weird.
up having 400 at bats at AAA, so he wasn't that
Yeah, and
hurt.
he hit 16 home runs, so he's got a little pop. His on base percentage is at 350 this year, so he's learned how to actually get on base.
And he's an excellent defender, and he's got a killer of an arm because I like his arm better than Volpe's.
Yeah,
So I think he's got to get a shot at second base or third base if the Yankees are, not bringing somebody in.
yeah.
All right, so
So
here's the
again,
guy that I was thinking about when I said he was 30 years old. What the hell's he doing on the 40-man roster? J.C. Esquerra. He's a 30-year-old first baseman. He was a 2013 draft pick. He's had 5 seasons in the minors and 3 seasons out of the United States. He's not awful, but why is this 30-year-old guy who's never going to be on the team on the 40-man roster? Makes no sense. Wrong?
what are they? Well, he's another switch hitter.
Well, yeah, but who
And
cares? He's 30 years old.
what's his skill set? What's his skill set? I don't see it.
Nothing. He's an
Got a
okay
little
hitter.
power, 12
No,
home runs and 400 bats. He's got no speed. He's got 3 stolen bases. He can't
there's
run.
no reason for this guy to take up roster space.
Yeah, this isn't lasting. He's gone.
Yeah.
He'll be
All
gone
right.
as soon as they
So,
have an opportunity.
and he's a first baseman. So that's the only
That's
reason.
why they needed
So,
a first baseman. They were worried, especially
oh
when
yeah, I mean, and he's got to
when
be eligible for the Rule 5 draft since he was drafted in 2013. So he'll be Rule 5 exposed.
yeah. Bye bye.
And I don't mean that in the least. So obviously now we get to some outfielders or some other players. Judge not going anywhere,
I don't
right?
know. Maybe it's time.
They should release him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Now
might be time.
the next guy's interesting. I didn't realize how Stanton's contract works. So he makes 32 million this year. He's got a full no trade. Okay. But he only makes 19 in 26 and 15 in 27. And the Yankees hold an option for 15 and 28.
He's
So
gonna be he's gonna have the body like the legs of 103-year-old man, and he's gonna be making 19
his
million.
legs are getting, you're saying his legs are going to get younger?
His legs are his legs are aging at twice the rate of the rest of his body.
His legs are in dog's years. So if he's 30, his legs are 210.
God, I mean, as bad as he is, as slow as he is now, can you imagine what he's going to be like in 3 years? I mean, it's just things.
Yeah.
People don't understand.
He's not I mean, he's not movable because he'll never move, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
he's not
because
movable.
he's
But it's
got a full
interesting
note.
that his
He's got
salary
a full
actually.
note trade.
The Marlins did something good here. His salary goes down as he gets older. That's a good thing, right, Martha?
That is good. I am happy to see that they did. That was a good deal.
And that's a
I'm surprised the
Marlins,
Yankees didn't screw it up by throwing in some extra money in there just to
right?
make them happy.
And the Yankees really aren't paying 32 million. They're paying less than that for Stanton.
Yeah, because they're still paying.
Right.
Some of that is still being paid by.
Right.
What is the Yankees' actual portion of
I
his
think
salary?
it's like 20. I don't know. I have it right here. Hold on.
So wait a minute. So if they're still doing that, that means he's probably going to be making $10 million in a couple of years.
So according to Sport Track, the Yankees are responsible for 32 million this year. So maybe he's making 35 this year or something ridiculous like that.
So this is the Yankees portion. These 19, 15, and 15.
I believe. Well, let me see. I go back and I'll look at Yankees for tax purposes.
He's not tradable. He's
not tradable.
The question,
and he also says he's in control of whether he gets traded, so it doesn't make a difference.
And even that, and I saw the Dodgers. He has no interest. The Dodgers are too smart. Would never bring him in. The Dodgers won't even go near him. They've got too many options. They'll never go near him. They rather just defer somebody until 2090. And then, because they're smart, find a way to do it. They'll just go after a Japanese player who has a big contract, so a big promotions contract somewhere. Boy, Wow, that is so painful. When I think of what they did with how they got around having to pay Shohei,
Oh, so
unreal.
Stan luxury tax number for the Yankees is only 22 million.
All right,
That's his luxury tax number
in 25.
in 25.
What's his luxury tax in 26?
I don't have that number out there. Sorry.
So you got to think it's considerably less. If it's only 19, if its regular number is 19, he's probably down to 12 to 15 now in
Maybe.
2026. And
Maybe,
then
but
10.
this is a waste of both of our time because
It is, because it doesn't matter. He's not going anywhere.
Smartly by Stanton, he's not going anywhere. Let's give the guy credit. He's smart.
Listen, I want to say something. I feel like I owe the man an apology. I've been very much an anti-Stanton guy. I feel it was deserved, but he stepped up and he showed us what he's worth, what is his motivation, which is great. While other guys on the team don't always do that. Other of our very large stars don't necessarily step up when they need to. This guy does. So
Yes.
when the lights are bright, so is he. So is his bat.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
So then next up on the Yankees hit list is Oswaldo Cabrera. I think he made 800,000. He's arbitration eligible in 26. So the Yankees are going to.
I would hold him for another year, and then in 26, so long. No need for him.
And then you
But
got our friend. Next up is our friend Dominguez.
this amazes me that he's making.
scheduled
How
to
is
make
it possible that he makes 800,000 in 25? That is a big. Is he
because
really
he's no
does he have
longer
that much service time?
he's no longer a first year player, even though he's going to be rookie eligible. He's played enough that he goes to the second tier of major league minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to make 800,000. So what do you think about all these things that are all of a sudden the Yankees? And is it the Yankees or is it the press that's bashing him? You're there. I
Yeah,
can't.
I'm really upset about this. And I made a point about it the other day in one of our many chats that the Yankees really have done it. Whatever's happening, the media is on him for being a terrible outfielder, like sort of being an undeveloped outfielder.
But
And
he
the
was a
problem
center.
is he never played left field. He's a center fielder. They moved him to a toughest left field in baseball.
Yeah,
What did he make? 3 errors? He misplayed 3 balls.
I
And
don't.
it's
I
like,
don't know
and
how
now
that happened.
they're
He looked
allowing it to
fine.
happen.
Didn't he look
Hmm?
fine in center field before this though?
He looked fine in center field last year, Little League played. He looked fine in the minors, and then he
Mhm.
comes to play in the toughest outfield in the world, and then he makes a couple of mistakes that are not uncommon, that do happen, and then now there's this is what I mean. The Yankees are a team where prospects come to die. They basically kill their own.
Well,
And
here's your next. They come to die. Everson Pereira.
I
Nice
mean,
transition.
God, is he
What?
even there? Where is he now?
He was
Didn't he
hurt.
get hurt?
Yes, he did. He got hurt this year. But listen, he's a stud outfielder. His stats are freaking fantastic every
You know what? Wait
year.
a minute. We didn't really finish Dominguez. Let's finish this,
Okay.
and let's go to him, because Dominguez is too important to this team. Pereira isn't. Um, Dominguez has to be given a full-time job next season. I don't
Absolutely.
care what it is. He should be the full-time. And the way I look at it is, I like to see him as the full-time center fielder, if Soto goes. And that's just the way it's got to be. Judge
I
and right.
would put him in
Center.
center and move Judge. I'd move Judge to left if Soto comes back.
I don't know if they want to use his legs like that. They're worried about him playing.
I mean, I'm sick and tired of this because, quite frankly, in 3 years, 3 or 4 years, Judge is going to have to be a DH when Stanton's gone.
First base. They'll be there. They're going to play. They're already practiced. They're already preparing him for first base.
Right. He's got it. I wouldn't mind him going to play some first base this year, just on an
I
occasion.
think this should be the year. This is the year.
Yeah.
30. What's it going to be? 32.
He's going to be 32. I think he's going to be 33. I think he's 33 at the start of the season. Yeah. So on Dominguez, I agree. He needs an everyday job, right?
And stop with this. And stop with this sandbagging the guy. Give me a break.
No, because why would you sandbag the guy? Because if you're not going to play him, you want to trade him, so you need his value up. So
that's what I mean. So you know what they got to do? Got to shut up Joel Sherman, who's a putz. I mean, reading this guy, I mean, it really makes me crazy.
I think he makes stuff up.
I mean, dude, the guy I saw every game he played. He made 3 errors in the outfield. He made 3 in that game, in that ridiculous game in Iowa. He made a bad play. He double pumped and he didn't throw the guy out at the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens. It happens.
Clearly, it happens. I mean, it happened all through the playoffs for the Yankees.
You know, half the team was dropping balls and throwing it around.
Listen, I don't think Judge should be allowed to play the outfield after missing that ball.
Well, I think he's in a lot of pain.
First error of the season. The only error he made all year was
right. He didn't make any errors.
Not a single error all year.
Not even a throwing error.
Not even a throwing error. But he wasn't nominated for a Gold Glove, but Soto was.
Lots of credibility in that decision-making process.
So I like Pereira, and the reason I like Pereira is every full season he's played, he's had a 900 OPS in the minors. And even last year, before he got hurt, he was at 859. And he's also supposed to be an excellent defensive player. So my worst case scenario is he's their 4th outfielder, or he's their platoon with Dominguez. And Dominguez only has to bat left-handed. If they're worried about him batting right-handed, then let Pereira bat right-handed. Clearly, you can win in Major League Baseball with platoons. The Dodgers certainly proved that again this year, right? Casey Stengel proved it from the beginning in the 50s. But in 2020, year is this? 24, clearly you can win with a platoon. The Dodgers proved it. So I see no reason to do this. Now, should he be traded? I don't know. If you have to, it depends on what you're going to get. So it's hard to say. So
he just strikes me as a devalued asset at this point.
He is, but he was hurt. So now we're going to get to some pitchers. This is an interesting thing. Did you know Carlos Rodon had a complete no trade? I did not know that.
For the whole contract?
Yeah.
Another great deal.
Full no trade, and he makes
so shrewd.
$27.8 million per year through 2028.
Does anybody get full no trades except the Yankees anymore? Anybody?
I don't know the answer to these questions. So the question that I wanted to ask, which is basically irrelevant, is did he rebuild his reputation after 23, where he was awful, enough that he has any value if the Yankees wanted to trade him, and he would allow them to trade him? Now, I mean, I think he did, but not without the Yankees eating some of the money.
Yeah. The $27 million isn't going to be easy to.
No. And the other half of it is he's got a significant injury history throughout his career, except in contract years. Yeah. So my thinking is if he's on the team in 2028, they can't trade him because he's a contract year type player.
Exactly. No, I think that this is a problem. I just don't think that he's their number 2. I think they need to hope that they can find a better option there. I think they got to hope that Heel improves again next year after winning. If he doesn't win for the Rookie of the Year,
well, yeah, we can go right to Heel. You're talking about a guy who makes $800,000 next year and is going to be a top 3 Rookie of the Year candidate. Yeah. After the season,
I just think he's your number 2.
Did you realize he's 27?
I'm not even sure if
he's 27.
I know he's not a young kid, but a lot of the thing about this, the guys like Cole, the thing is, I don't know how much more Cole has. I've got a take on Cole that we can discuss later, but Cole, I think the Yankees are going to be looking for top of the order help pretty soon. I don't think Rodon is the number 2. And I'm worried that I don't know how long Cole is going to be a number 1. I really don't know. I really don't know about that.
The one guy who doesn't have a no trade is Stroman, and he makes $18.3 million. But he has a vesting option for that same price in 26 if he throws 140 innings, and he did throw 157 innings this year. Talk about a guy who's a 3-4 starter. This is your guy. But at $18.3 million, is that what you want? And if with the Yankees, he's actually a 5 starter because I put him behind Schmidt and behind Rodon and behind Heel and behind Cole. So at $18.3 million, is he even tradable?
They'll have to eat the money. They'll have to eat some money. And I don't know if they'll want to do that.
They
might just give him a back of the order. They might just put him number 5, let him be the number 4, number 5 guy, and hope that that he can handle it. Hope that he brings it back. It just seems that he lost his strikeout. He doesn't have a strikeout pitch.
No, he didn't really have one for the last couple of years. But when we start talking about free agency, there's some pitchers out there that could cause the Yankees to have too many starters. All right, next up is a guy who's hurt all the time, and they're going to keep
God,
him. He's 26 years old. Clayton Beater got him from the Dodgers for next to nothing as well.
what did he
He was
make
in the
this year?
Gallo. He was in the Gallo trade,
Yeah, that was a great pickup. They got nothing. They gave up nothing, and they got something.
and they didn't
Now,
have to eat any
some.
salary.
So what
So
did he
he's
do?
got a huge injury history, and he's 26. I mean, there's nothing to do there unless they release him, which I don't think they're going to do. Another guy, 25 years old, makes 800,000 is Yandris Gomez. He was not bad in the couple of times the Yankees called him up, but he's not a top of the rotation guy. Is he somebody they keep in the bullpen?
Mhm.
Maybe,
He's
right?
somebody I could see them transitioning him over. That's for sure.
I don't know. Does he have a strikeout pitch? Then the other guy is similar, who has been pretty mediocre his whole career and doesn't make any money, but he's up to 30 years old. Is Poteet, who was a stud for the Yankees before he got hurt, but he's a mediocre pitcher at best for his entire career. You can't expect Poteet to be a guy that's going to contribute significantly,
Mhm.
right? Did he show enough that maybe somebody will take a flyer on him?
That's interesting. But thinking more, that's a lot of money for an injury history without a lot of track record.
What are you
Uh,
talking about, Poteet?
well, I mean, is he going to get a raise? Do you think he's going to get more than that? Do you see him making more than 800,000 this year?
Poteet he'll probably get $1 million.
How many years is his? What's his?
I'm looking for him right now. Hold on. I didn't write down his stuff.
He just kind of fell into that fine fill-in guy that you kind of like having.
Right. He's a
But
he's actually that's what I would say he is as well. So
so
I don't see. Hold on, let me look at his contract. Cody Poteet. Cody Poteet. Oh, I meant to look on the sport track. Sorry, I looked under the wrong thing. Let me fix this. Cody Poteet with the Yankees. $800,000 is all they expect for next year.
okay, all
So
right.
he's not even arbitration eligible and he's 30 years old. What does that tell you about the guy?
Yeah, not good.
So he's mediocre at best. So then there's another guy that's a huge disappointment.
Oh, this really hurt.
Will Warren.
I mean, it was such a bad experience. Now, what do we get at him? I'm looking at it right now.
The guy couldn't throw a strike in the majors after being a control pitcher all through his minor league career.
Just
don't get it.
so upsetting. I mean, it was just
I
nothing there. I'm looking at him right now. What do we got?
It was
here?
just nothing. It just bothered me that he was so good in the minors with low walk rate, right? And in the minor leagues, he walked 3 guys a game. In the major leagues, he walked 5 guys a game. So it's just, what's going on there with that guy?
Why is he not showing up on my? How many times did he pitch for the Yankees?
This year,
he's not on my MLB.
He only pitched 6 times for the Yankees this year.
Oh,
6
that's why.
times, 5 starts.
There it is.
22 innings, 33 hits, 27 runs.
With a 1.9 whip, not a good sign.
No.
Though he does have a strikeout pitch, but the walks, he gave up 10 walks in 22 innings. He's got to work on that.
4.5 walks a game. That's too much. And his minor league average for walks is 140 walks and 367 innings. So it's about 1 walk every 3-ish innings. But he does strike guys out. His strikeout rate's high. So it was disappointing. Will Warren was disappointing this year. But he's staying, even if they keep him down in the minors. Another guy that's interesting, and I think they keep him, is Jake Cousins.
I loved him. I thought he was terrific.
He's also 30, and he's a cheap bullpen piece.
And really, what was his salary?
800.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Major league.
And I liked him. I like what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, there's something there for him to be there. He's not going to be a closer. He probably won't see a lot of high leverage situations. And if he does, it's going to be in the 6th or 7th inning, not in the 8th or 9th inning. Mm-hmm. So he's a good guy, and he can pitch multiple innings. Last guy that's been on the Yankees roster, and since they got him from San Diego, is Yuri De Los Santos. He's 27 years old. Didn't make it to the majors this year. He pitched 59 innings, it's Scranton Wilkes-Barre, and he wasn't very good there. So if the Yankees need to release a guy, he's at the top of the list, along with that JC Escara guy.
Yeah.
But that's the entire roster that we
Hey,
just went.
a good show, and it's exactly 8 o'clock. Look at us.
Well,
You got
let's
through it
listen.
in
Let's talk about a couple of. Let's let our loyal
all
listeners
right.
chime
Let's see what Jebediah said. My dear
Jebediah.
brother.
Okay, Jebediah.
Robbie from Highlights from Lowlights here. Hey, you know, it's clear this team is a year or two away from blowing
Here's
it
what I
all
would
up.
do with the current roster as of the end of the World Series.
No.
I would let Rizzo, Verdugo.
Time out. Play Jebediah. You play Jebediah.
All right. You got it? You do it.
I'll do it. I'll put him. Okay, I'm going to try and get Jebediah back to the beginning. Okay, Jebediah.
Do you think it's to their advantage to do it now rather than wait? Or are you going to try to ride it out and see if you can get close one or two more times before blowing it all apart?
I think so. Basically, Jebediah wants to know if the Yankees need to blow it all up. They're not blowing it all up because they have too many contracts they have to keep. Well, no, he's a Cubs fan. He's a Cubs
Is he a
fan.
Cubs fan?
He's from Chicago.
Yeah, well, I guess that's bad too.
He likes the Giants too.
So
He's bloody. He just bounces around.
I know Yanks have no intention of blowing
it up. They'll never blow it up because they can't. All right, so let's see.
Imagine if the Yankees were getting 10,000, 15,000 in the stands. Can you imagine what would happen to New York to this team if the Yankees went back to the 80s Yankees?
All right, so let's see what else my brother Toad, who decided he was going to participate as if he was a host today. So he's got two more comments.
Glaber is not getting 3 years, $48 million. He's going to get about 3 years, $36 million, maybe.
I disagree with him. I think Glaber's going to get 45 at least.
In terms of free agents, if you don't sign Soto, I would try and get Anthony Santander, who is probably $20 to $25 million less a year than Soto, and definitely less years. I would sign 1 to 2 starting pitchers. Maybe try and get Shane, not Justin Bieber, coming off his surgery. I would try and sign David Robertson for a 1-year deal who can close if Weaver starts to struggle, and he's probably cheap because he's old, and then try and trade Stroman.
All right. Well,
is it possible to hold these over for next show?
No. Tough toenails.
What part of the business plan did he not get? We aren't talking about what they are supposed to do. This is a roster look. Punt.
You know what?
Am I being tough on your brother? I'm sorry.
That's fine. You can be tough on him. I don't give a crap. I'm trying to see if somebody has any estimates about what Glaber will make in 2025.
No, he makes a lot of good points. It's just
he made 14 too.
All right. So
Todd says he's not even
right
listening.
About Glaber. I don't think Glaber's getting that money. And the Yankees, I think he's gonna get did he do enough to resuscitate? He was terrible until August 15th, and then suddenly turned it on, and he had he had a good, especially the first 5 games. I thought he had the best baseball I ever saw him play was the Guardian series. He was spectacular. Every game he got on base. It was beautiful. World Series, not as much. He did it again. You saw what happened. He started to do it towards the end of the series. He started to swing for the fences again. He stopped going away from the opposite approach. Did it a little bit in the last game, too little, too late. But he was, I agree. I think that he is. I think he's a piece. I would have liked to give him. I said it earlier. I would have liked to give him the qualifying. Because I know the ego would require him to go out and to get a deal, even if it was a crappy one. But,
so here's the only thing I could find about Glaber and what people are estimating is on The Athletic, and Jim Bowden, who's the former GM guy, he's estimating that Glaber could get in the neighborhood of 4 years and $44 million, which is $11 million a year. He made 14.2 this year. The teams they think are interested in him would be the Blue Jays, the Mariners, and possibly the Marlins if the price stays low.
All right, and then what I'm going to say, he brought up something that was interesting. It amazes me. He was Glaber was a 1.7 WAR player on a world championship team.
So
I
Nico
mean,
Horner made 3 years for $35 million. And that's a comparable for Glaber. I'd rather have Glaber than Nico Horner, although Nico Horner is younger.
All right. So the one that I just want to bring up again, I just don't want Anthony Santander. I just don't. He's another one of these guys. You know, how in the world what was he, a 3.3 WAR player? It's just, how is that possible? A guy who hits 40 home runs, 44 home runs, to be that just okay. Something was missing in his game, and I think
he's also a pretty good defender, and he's a switch hitter.
But you know, what was missing? What's wrong?
I don't know. I am not a fan of a guy who explodes offensively in a contract year, and that's what he did. I
Yeah,
have nothing.
that to me that's a bad
If he
sign.
would have done his typical 25 to 30 home runs, 275, 90 RBI season, and had the same type of season he's had for the 3 or 4 years previous, I would be more interested in him. But for him to blow up to 44 home runs and do what he did on his contract year, those guys scare me. They just do.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But, you never would
Yeah.
know if these guys get multi-year or one-year deals. There's a lot of other guys. And next week, what we'll do is we'll talk about, we'll figure it out, but we'll probably talk about the free agent market and what the Yankees can do, because that's the easiest thing to talk about. And maybe there'll be some movement there. Stupid stuff.
I thought
Mookie Betts moving.
this was great. I thought it was great.
We went player by player. We went player by player. We went player by player on the roster.
That was good. And now next week we'll talk about what they need to do. And this was a good, who should stay, who should go. I don't think there's anything earth-shattering, anything that we've said here, or I don't think anything is going to affect them. I would have liked to give Glaber the qualifying, because I know he returned it down. He would have still signed somewhere. The Yankees would have ended up getting some help from some love for him leaving. But whatever.
I think he would have taken it.
You think he would have taken it just to stay another year?
Yeah,
rebuild?
If what my brother said and what Jim Bowden said is true, and he was going to get 4 years, 44, which is 11 per, why not take 1 year at 21 and then go out next year and get 3 years at 33?
He'll get more than that. He's going to get more
I
than
still
that.
think he's going to get 3 and 44, 45. I think he's going to be a 15 million, 16 million
Let's
player,
mark it down now. We'll talk about it when it happens.
Okay.
He's not a Boris guy, is he? He's not a Boris guy, is he?
I don't believe so, but who cares?
So the point is, he'll sign soon.
The other guy I don't really want, just so you know, I don't want to. I like Alonso as a person and a player, but I don't want him on the team.
Got it. All right, me too. We don't need another high strikeout guy who's in decline. Sorry, in decline.
But he can't handle New York. That's positive. All right, I'll speak to you over the course of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look for us on YouTube and listen to the other shows on the Mic'd Up app. The Rovner Report, highlights from lowlifes, and many others. For those of you listening, this is the end of our broadcast day. Sing the anthem,
Bye-bye.
Johnny.
Da, 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 da.